Young, the court has a complaint charge, even unarmed robbery, a plea of not guilty is entered.
Call, I'll hear you on your request for bail and your motion of revocation.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth is requesting you to revoke bail on docket 16-6451, a larceny over $250,000, as well as place a $100,000 cash bail on the new offense, the unarmed robbery, docket 17-0156. Turning to the underlying case, on November 16, 2016, Brockton police dispatched a Stop and Shop for a shoplifter in custody call. When they arrived, they see that witnesses had told us that the defendant, Kaloon Young, had placed numerous items into his grocery cart and then attempts to exit the store via the produce exit. They stated that he had values approximately of $300. Turning to the new case, on January 13, 2017, Brockton police are dispatched to Santander Bank, located at 25 Torrey Street, for a robbery call at approximately 9:26 in the morning. While police were en route, they were informed by dispatch that the bank had just been robbed by what they believed was a Hispanic male, 5'7", approximately 180 pounds. Police arrived less than 1 minute after the call was placed, in which when they arrived they spoke to the branch manager, who directed them to a teller at the bank, who stated that a male, possibly Hispanic, with a black hat and blue sunglasses that looked similar to ski goggles, had walked into the bank and passed them a note. The male did not have his lower face covered, and the teller stated that he had stubble and what appeared to be razor burn or small cuts on his face. The teller then stated that he asked the male to remove his sunglasses, in which the male told him to read the note. Because at that time he asked him to remove his sunglasses again, in which this same suspect said, read the note. At that time, the note demanded money and specifically said, no dye packs and no one gets hurt. The teller stated he then placed a couple of 20s into an envelope along with a dye pack and handed it over to the male, who demanded the teller to return the note, and then he fled out to the front door. The teller stated that there was another witness, another employee, who stated that she took notice of this individual when the teller kept telling him to take off his sunglasses. While the officer was gathering information from the bank, someone knocked on the door and pointed across the street to the parking lot of Westside Pizza, and stated that it appeared that a dye pack had exploded in the parking lot. It was at that time they went across the street and located the dye pack, along with what appeared to be a handwritten note covered in red dye near the front door of the Westside Pizza. The police then secured those items, and around that time they heard a radio call that an officer was out with a party that may be the suspect. It was at that point they were informed that the party they had in custody, identified as Kaloon Peter Young, was found with red dye all over his hands and clothing. They also found a knit winter hat on the ground in the drive-thru area of Dunkin' Donuts that matched the same hat shown in the photos provided by Santander Bank later on. They then went back to the bank where they would do a show-up form. It was at that time when they did bring the suspect back to the bank, the original teller stated that he positively identified the suspect as the person who handed him the note, as well as another employee who took witness stated that she was 7 out of 10% sure that that was the same suspect. The police, while they were transporting this defendant makes several comments about how he had effed up and that he continually asked how much prison time could he get. He also asked the police if they had recovered the money and stated that he had chucked it over there, referring to West Street, and emphasized that no one got hurt. Turning to this defendant's board of probation record, I did see that he does have 2 pages. I did see his birthplace was out of this country in Hong Kong. I did see one default. He has that open case larceny more, as well as the fact that I was informed today that this is the same suspect that they believe was involved in an incident at a CVS, where he does make admissions to police, I was told, about stealing 2,200 Percocets as well as 400 Xanax. I was told that charges are near pending, that they will be taken out very shortly. Based on the fact that he is looking at a considerable amount of jail time, the fact that he's stealing at a Stop and Shop and now he's passing notes to banks and unarmed robberies. The Commonwealth does believe that he is a danger to the community, as well as asking the court to place the high cash bail of $100,000.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Christian Bai on behalf of Mr. Young, presently in custody. Your Honor, Mr. Young, while he was born in Hong Kong, he's been here since approximately 1.5 years old. He moved first, I believe, to New York with his parents, obviously since due to his young age, but he's been living in Massachusetts since he's been 21, and he's 49 now. He first moved to Brighton, but for the most part, he's lived in Brockton. He lives one address in Brockton for 18 years. That's not his current address, however. Given the length of time that he's lived in Massachusetts, and in particular Brockton, I don't believe there's any sort of significant flight danger, certainly not to a country that he's never lived in, or, I don't even know if he speaks Chinese, per se. It does appear that this charge is, because it involves a bank, I understand the seriousness of that. However, Your Honor, I note that the amount that was taken was $580. The other charge appears like some sort of shoplifting charge at a Stop and Shop. We're not, although this is a Superior Court jurisdiction case only, I mean, there's a good chance this is going to break down to something else, Your Honor. And for those reasons, Your Honor, I think a $100,000 bail is just excessive. A bail in the neighborhood of $2,500, that's certainly something that can be met by Mr. Young and his family or friends without, essentially being the grant of no bail at all. Looking at his record, ADA bail mentioned a default. That was in '93, and it was possession of Class D substance. Your Honor, this is a very short record. It doesn't appear, and I don't even know if there's any convictions, actually. Yeah, it looks like there's no convictions. As for the revocation order, Your Honor, I don't believe that it's necessary to hold him. There's no obvious danger to the community. As the Vail noted, there's no weapons found on Mr. Young when he was arrested. There's no indication that any weapons were used. It's a note. On that basis, Your Honor, I don't believe he's a significant danger to the community, and I'd ask that he not be revoked. His bail on 166451 be revoked for that reason. Thank you.
So after hearing the Commonwealth's motion on revoke bail is allowed on the new matter 170156, I'll set bail only on $25,000 cash.
Yeah, I'll hand it.
Okay, so your matter is going to be continued to February 15th at 9 o'clock for probable cause and pretrial. On docket 17156, bail is set, the amount of $25,000 cash. And on 166451, your bail is revoked or held without bail. You have the right of the bail review with the Superior Court. The Committee for Public Counsel Services will represent you. You'll have to pay a $150 fee, and if you get charged with another offense or with new cases pending, you'll be held in the jail for 90 days.
February 15th.
Yes.
And will that be both cases then?